Hello everyone, I'm Wave, and today I thought I'd talk about pretty briefly just a thought I had about, Clannad After Story, and then I guess also just, the impact of even just the title of an after story, but just in general of that phrasing in any other visual novel post Clannad. So, I only really thought about this topic for a video because I'm currently reading a visual novel by the name of La Monet, and that happens to have an after story that is included within it for each of the individual routes that are within the game. And I figured, there's a couple different categories of after stories, and I think it was pretty interesting to kind of just note them out. So in the case of La Monet, and then also for a few other titles that I've read, such as maybe Senran Banka or Riddle Joker, they have it where it's almost just an epilogue that you can access through the main menu after you've cleared a route, which is, it's pretty brief, and it's always just kind of a little bit of extra, bit of story that you can read for any of the dedicated characters that you just really enjoyed. But I think within the span of Clannad After Story, there is this higher level of kind of just expectations when it comes to when you see the title After Story and you immediately think back to Clannad. So both La Monet and Clannad appear to have come out the same year, 2004, and the time since then, there's only been a few other stories that I personally read that have been, of that longer form that kind of live up to the reputation that Clannad set. I guess only one, surprisingly, to come from Key themselves, the writers and creators of Clannad, would be Tomio After, which is not included in a complete set with a whole host of different routes. It's put within its own dedicated fan disc, so its own dedicated game, but it still kind of shares that same level of quality and length and just overall depth. So I think with Clannad and the other titles that I'll talk about, an after story, I feel it's just this overall understanding and just mastery of knowing everything about the characters that you've written for a story and being able to push forward. I know at the time of Clannad, most visual novels kind of were just set specifically in high school and never really moved past that point. And then Clannad shows what happens after that and kind of shows a dedicated of okay, well, in the context of the visual novel route where the relationship pushes forward and you get to see kind of what, as the title kind of specifies, the aftermath. So I think when I see the title After Story in a visual novel, I kind of am drawn to that thought that what I'm going to be reading is going to be something to where it's a level higher than maybe even the base game, because anything that you've read up to that point is just all the build up, and then you get to see the just complete mastery over okay, knowing each and every single detail about the characters and being able to fit everything together, piece it all together in the world, and be able to build further upon the story in a very meaningful way. So like I said, there's a couple visual novels that just kind of do that little epilogue sort of thing, but surprised that the few times that I've run into it, being Clannad specifically, Tomoyo After, and then the Lose visual novels being Maitetsu and Monobeno, where you have I think there's a total of 6 routes between those two games because each one has 3. You've got Hachiroku, Paulette, and Hibiki After and Maitetsu, and then you've got Natsuha, Sumi, and Alice After in Monobeno. So I don't know. I figured it would be a pretty interesting topic to touch upon, because I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way. Whenever I see I finish a route in a visual novel that I'm reading, and then I see like an extras tab open on the main menu, click through to it, and then you see After Story, it kind of gets my hopes up and be like, oh, that's interesting. But I don't know. I think it's kind of funny and also just a pretty like cool. And it shows like the actual weight of how important Clannad was as a visual novel, in that ever since then, from 2004 onward, anytime you see the phrase After Story in any other visual novel, you think back to Clannad and the impact that it had. But yeah, that's just my brief thoughts on the impact and weight of an after story in visual novels. I've been Wave. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.